Hey out there in YouTube land. Hope everyone had a good Thanksgiving last week. I ate plenty of turkey and had a wonderful time. I know I've been on hiatus for a few weeks with my storytelling, so I thought it was high time for a new story to be posted. Today's story is called Bowels the Indian. This story's been around for a lot of years. You may have heard it before. If not, I hope you really enjoy this. I love it. It's a great funny story. There was an Indian named Bowles. He lived in a teepee out in an area outside of a small town. It was sort of like like the plains out there, sort of vacant except for the small town that rested there. Bowles lived in his teepee right outside that town for a long time, and no one ever really bothered him or cared that he lived there. But a railroad company was coming through, and they were going to extend the railroad over to the town for convenience. This was back in the late 1800s when the railroad was still a major means of transportation. Well, some of the men with the railroad company visited Bowles at his teepee one day and told him, "Mr. Bowles, you're going to have to move somewhere else. We're building our railroad, and you're right smack in the middle of the place where we need to put our tracks." Bowles was not happy with this. He'd been living there for a long time undisturbed, and he was not about to pick up and move his teepee. He said, "Bowles, no move." Well, the men told him, "If you want to dispute, you'll need to go into the town. The railroad engineer, his office is there." They told him where it was located, and they said, "You'll need to go there and visit him in his office and make your complaint, but you will need to move, teepee and all, because we're building our railroad right through here." Well, Bowles was disgruntled, so he stormed into town and he marched up the road in the direction the men gave him. But the old Indian couldn't read or write, so when he got to the office where the engineer was, right next door to it was the office of the town doctor. Not being able to read the signs, Bowles accidentally stormed into the doctor's office, marched right up to the doctor's desk, slammed his fist down, and said, "Bowles, no move." Naturally, the doctor thought he meant that his bowels weren't moving, as in your digestive tract, everything. So he said, "Wow, that sounds like a lot of trouble. How about I give you some pills to take with you, and you take these for about a week and come back and see me, and we'll see how you're doing." So he handed the jar of pills to the Indian. Old Bowles looked at it, no, and he turned around and marched back out the office. A week later, the doctor was sitting at his desk when the door thumped open, and Bowles sort of half stumbled, half marched into the office and up to the desk and slammed his fist down and said, "Bowles, still no move." The doctor said, "Wow, this is more serious than I thought. How about I give you another jar of pills? This one's a little bit stronger. Take these for about a week and we'll see how you're doing." And he handed Bowles the pills. Bowles looked at it in his hand, but he turned around and took the pills and half stumbled, half marched back out the office. Another week went by. The doctor was in his office once again when the door thumped open and Bowles came dragging in through the door, stumbling to the doctor's desk, and he propped against the desk and thumped his fist down and said, "Bowles, still no move." The doctor scratched his chin. "This is a lot more serious than I thought. I'm going to let you try one more pill. It's an experimental pill. Take this with you. Take this for a couple of days, and if you're still not clear, come back and we may need to seek some other means of taking care of this problem other than pills." So the doctor handed a jar with these huge horse pills. Bowles took the jar, but he turned around and went back out of the office. 2 days went by. The doctor once again was sitting at his desk when the door bounced open, and in came Bowles crawling across the floor. crawling, crawled up to the doctor's desk, and he grabbed hold of the edge, and he pulled himself up until he could look over the desk at the doctor, and he said, "Bowels gotta move. Teepee full of crap." Thank you.